Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Taylor Jones, and I would like to say welcome back to my YouTube channel. But for right now, I know it's been a while, a little bit of a minute since I did a last video. And speaking of video, for those that didn't know about my last video, I did a somewhat cover. Since it's Black History Month 2024, I did a cover of T-Pain's rap song Stoicville. And the link for that video will be in the description bar down below. But since it's Black History, I have to keep it moving. So what better way to continue Black History than to do another song, but this one is actually spoken word from Smokey Robinson, a Motown legend. And it's crazy how Motown has been in the game, the music business, for 65 years. So kudos to Smokey Robinson, the mastermind of it, as well as Berry Gordy, who was the head supreme, the man who actually did the business part of Motown, while Smokey, he actually ended up doing music. But for Smokey Robinson to do a poem, and for those that don't recall, I actually did this a long time ago, a couple years ago, a few years back. I did this, so this is considered an oldie but a goodie, and this is a reenactment of I Love Being Black, the Smokey Robinson poem from Def Comedy Jam. So without further ado, it's time to begin. So hear what I have to say. I love being black. I love being called black. I love being an American. I love being a black American. But as a black man in this country, I think it's a shame that every few years we get a change of name. Since those first ships arrived here from Africa that came across the sea, there were already black men in this country who were free. And for those who came over here on those terrible boats, they were called Negro and slave, and told what to do and how to behave. And then his master started tripping, doing his midnight tipping down to the slave shacks where he forced he and great-great-grandma to be together. And if great-great-grandpa protested, he got tarred and feathered. And at the same time, the black men in the country who were free were mating with the tribes like the Apache and the Cherokee. And as a result of all that, we were a parade of every shade. And as this late day and age, you can be sure that there aren't too many of us in this country whose bloodline is pure. Deep, don't you think? But according to a geographical genealogy study published in Time magazine, the black African people were the first on the scene. And so, for what it's worth, the black African people were the first on earth. And through migration, our characteristics started to change and rearrange to adapt to whatever climate we migrated to. And that's why I became me. That's how I became me and you became you. So, if we're going to go back, let's go all the way back. And if Adam was black and Eve was black, then that kind of makes it a natural fact that everybody in America is an African American. Everybody in Europe is African European. Everybody in the Orient is an African Asian, and so on and so on. That is, if the origin of man is what we're going to go on. And if one drop of black blood makes you black, like they say, then everybody's black anyway. So quit trying to change my identity. I'm already who I was meant to be. I'm a black American born and raised, and Brother James Brown wrote a wonderful phrase. Say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. Say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. Because I'm proud to be black, and I never lived in Africa. And because my great-great-granddaddy on my daddy's side did, don't mean I want to go back. Now, I have nothing against Africa. It's where some of the most beautiful places and people in the world are found. But I've been blessed to go to a lot of places in this world. And if you ask me where I choose to live, I pick America, hands down. Now, by and by, we were called Negroes, and after a while, that name was banished. Anyway, Negroes is how you say black in Spanish. And then we were called colored. But heck, everyone's one color or another. And I think it's a shame that we hold that against each other. And it seems like we reverted back to a time when being called black was an insult. Even if it was from another black man, the fight would result. Especially when he said it, the fight would result. Because we've been so brainwashed that black was wrong till even the yellow Negroes and the black Negroes couldn't even get along. Man. But then came the 1960s when we struggled and died to be called equal and black, and we walked with pride with our heads held high and our shoulders pushed back, and black was beautiful. But I'm afraid it wasn't enough. I guess that wasn't good enough, because now here they come with some other stuff. Who comes up with this crap anyway? Was it one or a group of Negroes sitting around one day? Feeling a little insecure again about being called black, and decided that African American sounded a little more exotic. Well, I think you were being a little more neurotic. Now, there's that same mentality that got Amos and Andy put off the air because they were embarrassed about the way that the character spoke. And as a result of that action, a lot of wonderful black actors ended up broke. When we were just laughing and having fun about ourselves. So I say, shame on you if you can't take a joke. You didn't see the Beverly Hillbillies being protested by white folks. And if you think, just because you think that being called African American sets all black people's minds at ease, since we affectionately call each other Negro, I affectionately say to you, Negro please. Now, how come I didn't get the chance to vote on who I'd like to be? Who gave you the right to make that decision for me? I am not under your rule nor in your dominion, and I am entitled to my own opinion. Now, there are some African Americans here, but they recently moved here from places like Kenya, Ethiopia, Zimbabwe, Zambia, and Zaire. But not a brother whose family has lived in the country for generations, occupying space in all of the locations: New York, LA, Miami, Detroit, and Chicago. Even if he's wearing a dashiki or sporting an afro. And if you go to Africa in search of your race, you'll find out quick, you're not an African American. You're just a black American in Africa, filling much space, taking up space. Now, why you keep trying to attach yourself to a continent where even if you got the chance to go and you went, most people there would even claim you as one of them, as a purebred daughter or son of them. Your heritage is right here, right now, no matter what you call yourself or what you say. And a lot of people died to make it that way. And if you think America is a leader on inequality and suffering and grieving, then how come there are so many people coming and so many leaving? So few leaving. Rather than all this find fault with America nonsense you promoting, if you want to change something, use your privilege. Get to the polls. Commit to voting. God knows that we've earned the right to be called American Americans and be free at last. But instead of you moving forward in progress, you're dwelling in the past. We struggled too long. We've come too far. Instead of focusing on who we were, let's be proud for who we are. We are the only people whose name is always a trend. When is this madness ever going to end? Look at all the different colors of our skin. Black is not our color, it's our core. It's what we've been living and fighting and dying for. But if you choose to be called African American and that's your preference, then I'll give you that reference. But I know on this issue, I don't stand alone on my own. And if I do, then let me be me. And I appreciate it if when you see me, you say, there goes the man who said it loud. I'm black, and I'm black, America. Am I black, America? And I'm proud because I love to be called an American. I love to be black. I love to be called black. Yeah, I said it, and I don't take it back. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, that was my reenactment from an old poem that I did from Smokey Robinson's called I Love Being Black, or A Black American in an alternate title. But after bringing it back after a couple years, like around between 19 and 20, to doing this for Black History in 2024, it's a privilege to realize that it's time for me to be focused on my life, my heritage, my culture, my skin. You only live once, but being black, it has to take a whole lot of work. So we got to get started right here and there. Anyway, if you like what you're hearing, feel free to do these following details. Like, as in thumbs up. Comment, whether you say right on and preach, or even if you put the emoji that says 100. Even if you had to do the fist emoji. Even if it means to share on other social media platforms, whether on Instagram, Google, Facebook, all that jazz. And also the main thing you have to do is click the subscribe button. Not only that, click the notification bell, and there will be more in stores. And like I said, the Stoicville T-Pain cover will be in the link in the description box down below. So make sure you catch up by sticking with yours truly, as I plan to build up and get more subscribers, more support from my YouTube channel, TC Jones Edits. And with all that being said, this is yours truly, Taylor Jones, signing out. When will we all, African American individuals, say to ourselves, I love being black? Because we only got one shot, so love the skin that you're in.